Welcome to October. And it's funny, as I've been getting ready today, they have been very clear about which cards I needed to bring, which instruments I needed to bring. So it feels like this transmission that's coming through for you. And can we call it a transmission? Because that's really what these energy updates are turning into. And the more that I move along in my flow, I really like doing the activations and transmissions. So thanks for being here to receive it. But specifically today, we are going to be working with the energy of October 2020, not only to give you a little bit of a heads up of how to navigate what's ahead, but also let's come in with an activation so that you know how to make best use of these energies and get some allies and support. Cool. See? So we're going to do a little bit of a clearing. That's cute. They want to use that drum. I love that they want to use that drum. And humaning doesn't always work out the way you want. So I'm going to be quiet while I'm drumming today because I don't have the right sound equipment that I wanted. I'm missing a chord, whatever. So as you hear the sound of the drum, just allow yourself to come into ceremonial space, whatever that looks like for you. Stepping outside of the world as they tell you it is, into the world that you know to be true. Because as we stand here at the beginning of October, we're going to need to be very earth-based. And it's funny because so much of this is galactic. But this month they're saying we need to be very focused on the earth realms, on the here and now. So the first card that I pulled for today, it's funny, it came out before I was really even ready for it, is the earthworm. Isn't that perfect? Because that's exactly it. Like, this is you kind of moving into a new cycle, but it's also that idea of going within. So when I hear that we are working heavily with earth energies this month, this is it. And with that earthworm energy, they just want to remind you, thanks, piece by piece. You can only see what's directly in front of you, so don't get too distracted by the outside. Duh, we've heard that for a while. But also, don't get too far ahead of yourself, because that seems to be tricky right now. They're lining you up where you need to be. Thank you. And I'll be shuffling some cards over here. They're falling out as they sometimes do. Thank you so much. And reminding you, not only in this month of October, but in general, you don't gotta fucking worry about a thing. Really, truly. As you can begin to focus more inward, everything on the outside will make less and less sense. And that's okay. That will be your protection in many ways. So thinking of that earthworm, the earthworm is underneath the earth. When do you see an earthworm come out? Well, they come out at night. They're working very hard under there. So I don't need your efforts to be necessarily advertised anywhere. The efforts that you're making in here will make all of the difference because you're the one moving the fucking earth. We'll be playing with that quite a bit more in the Akashic. You guys might have an earlier heads up than that because I can't really hold myself back at times. But the cards that we pull that fell out for you here is our Queen of Wands. Oh yeah, look at her. She knows how to make shit happen. That queen energy is coming through not as a novice, but as this seasoned, grown-ass woman who knows how to move through, knows how to navigate through it all. So if you don't know yet your own Queen of Wands, this would also be a really good introduction this month. So treat it like a spirit guide, treat it like an avatar, go into shamanic journey or meditative spaces or however you do this to meet with other guides and ask what that Queen of Wands shows up as for you. I know what mine is. And whenever I see her, I'm like, fuck, we got this. So we really do got this. Seven of Pentacles is the other card that comes out right away. That Seven of Pentacles to me is always about investing. So as I start moving into winter, I am looking for what are the inner projects that I'm going to be working on as it starts getting dark outside. Again, Northern Hemisphere, not so much for the Southern Hemisphere. Did you guys see that? Oh, it was so good. Maybe I haven't shared it yet, so sorry. There is a teaching in the September live Q&A because we do have a couple of patrons who are down in the southern hemisphere. So she was asking going into spring what it looks like. I'll let you watch that when you get a second, but it was valuable. So here, northern hemisphere, we're planting these seeds, right? What is it that we want to carry into the winter with us? How is it that we want to work? I'll laugh at this 7 as well, because guess what? We're going to be doing a 7-week project. Don't know necessarily what it's called yet, if it's going to be a dream school. But yeah, as I looked at the numbers today, they're like, yep, 7 weeks, $77. Okay, yeah, starts right after the Akashic, because we need to carry people through the end of the year and into the next year. And when the 7 weeks lines up, it literally ends on January 2nd. So that apparently will be on Saturdays. We'll talk more about that, but I see the 7s. I'm watching their affirmations. So the 7, what are you going to take into the winter? What are you going to take into these times of quiet that nurtures and takes care of you? Because this is not an outside in the world card. This is feeding the sweetness of your soul. And not only your soul today do they want us to pay attention to, it is going to be the human experience of this soul. I love that. It doesn't feel so much this month that we are working with the energies. Oh, that's where it is. KK, not an AE. K, heart, thank you. We aren't so much this month working with the energies of star being, galactic. That's not going to matter so much. It's going to be more about our human experience this month. And in that human experience, a lot of ancestral work tends to come up in October. You'll hear other people talk about shadow work. Well, I fucking think shadow work is here all the time for me as we go into that portal of Samhain, or that portal of Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. We really are paying attention to that and kind of building up all of our energies in the month of October to be able to support us crossing through that threshold. Feels like this year the ancestral work will be even more important. We'll be doing a podcast with Raven Rose on that this week, so hopefully you'll have access to that real soon. The importance of ancestral work. Going to be huge for us this month. Thanks, Kiki. Lo cuckoo. Thanks, asking that I pull one more card. Okay, 2 more cards. Thanks. The Wheel of Fortune. Great. Again, nothing here to worry about. I'll have a podcast coming out on more of the why of that. But recognize that, again, everything is moving exactly as it should. Even COVID. Because this lady got a COVID test. This lady was shamed by someone in the awakened spiritual community for getting a COVID test. Fuck you. Guess what? I get to do what helps the people I love feel safe. I'm not worried that I have it. If I do have it, guess what? I get to show you how to fix it. Fucking cool, not bothered. But that Wheel of Fortune, we can't necessarily see the reasons why everything is happening, but they want to make sure that you understand. Queen of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. Oh, fuck. There's purpose for all of this. And there's that Queen of Wands energy of you holding a light to move things forward. Thanks. You don't need to move anything forward. You need to hold the light. That's kind of fun. In the Akashic, I think we'll play with that as well, that idea of the Jed. The Jed being the stability of you, being the creation of you, the center point. And then there's these rings outside of the Jed that are what we create, what we bring into being, what we believe to be real. The Queen of Wands energy is coming into this and kind of interrupting that a little bit of hold the light and show what is real. And not by any outward efforts, because everything underneath the surface is already moving. Ah, thanks. They say in the direction of your victory. Everything is already supporting you in this new world being birthed. No, I think that's coming too. So your job, again, look within. Everything is there. The Wheel of Fortune, everything will be revealed, everything according to agenda and schedule. Thanks. So they've been specific as well today about what instruments they want us to work with. So we'll move now into an activation of this, into some guided shamanic journey. And I want you to kind of ask today in this place of opening up your hands and letting all of the galactic and all of the inner earth forces support you. This gets to be a place for you today of receiving. Oh, almost like calling all the allies forward. Fucking call all your allies forward in this month of October. both the ancestral and the spirit animals, power animals, the ascended beings, all of this. Like, have your team at the ready is what they say. And not because you're going to have to fight, but because in this way, when you are aligned with divine energies, things will bypass you. This is a little bit more of where we want you. It's not an act of protection. It's not a battle cry. This is fucking beefed up, ready to go. What you got? That's much better. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of clearing now. Kinai namnea kiki. So Kisole namnea. Kishoko sea. Me now. Siki lai namnea kiki. What they would like us to acknowledge is, while there is so much going on under the surface, the world will not look the same 3 years from now. You'll be able to look back and recognize your part in this transition. And really, they're treating it more than a transition, but like, you'll look back and you'll be like, holy cow, I get to experience that. I get to be a part of that. But right now, we will often feel like the earthworm where we can't see the bigger picture, and that's okay. So don't try to reach for the future, and don't try to make anything happen. Linayaki. Celebrate exactly where you are and exactly what you get to do. What you get to do is your healing. That is miraculous. Your healing is a miracle. One person's ability to wake up during all of this is a miracle, and it's happening every day. Thanks, guys. Okay, so with those hands open so that you are receiving from the divine, they want you to breathe deeply through pelvic area. Not necessarily sexual, but also not womb space. So it's going to be this space between first and second chakra. Feed it to the densest places of your earth, the densest places of your human. Feeding it peace. Heard, thanks. And not a saccharine slathering of peace. I like that. So not like, I'm gonna be peaceful. No, no, no. Let peace rise from within you. Invite the peace that already is you to show itself to you. So it's this receiving energy, and it's turning on the peace that is already within you. And as you're doing this, I want you to invite forward all of the ancestors who are well in spirit. Invite forward the power animals, the guides and masters who have brought you comfort, been your allies. It's so cute. Like I see very specifically, like call your stuffies forward, the stuffed animals who were your protectors and your loves. Let all of the spirits of those who have kept you comforted be within your field now. Mm-hmm. Hmm. As they're coming through with all of this comfort, all of this sweet tenderness, I'm also kind of asking, because I'm two places or maybe more, this place with you, receiving it, and then also the why do we need to be so comforted? And it is this idea of that Seven of Pentacles, this going within this month, because the outside is going to be a shit show. Okay? You don't need to take that ride. That's cute. I was asking for Animal to come in and support us. Do I need to say more? This will be the outside world. This will be you. And no disrespect to the sharks, but there's a lot riding on this month for them. Them, whoever they are. It's cute. There will be lots of distractions. There will be lots trying to pull you off of center. Lots trying to make you believe something that may not feel true to you. Keep coming back to you. Keep sinking into the earth. And almost in that way, oh, that's interesting. They want to talk about the Anasazi. The Anasazi who do not like to be called that. And I wish I remembered their true name. I don't. Seeing if it's in there. I don't have it anywhere. The Anasazi myth, the stories, the ancient stories, are that there was a time where it was too dangerous to inhabit the earth. The Anasazi went inside to inner earth and took their entire civilization underground. During that time, they learned quite a bit from the inner earth beings. So this would not be the aliens outside. This is the aliens within, if that's how you want to play with it. That advanced their culture quite a bit. There were also repercussions for it because they weren't invited in and they went in. But in this way, you're being invited into the earth right now. Just cozy up, take a mud bath, let it all fly past you. Because I can promise, in the grand scheme of things, the only efforts right now that will matter are those that you invest in your soul. That was a message, that was not me. Fuck. I know. Yes, I heard you. It's a lot. I'm trying very hard not to be political here because this lady's experience right now, politics can't change anything. They haven't. So it's not going to matter who you vote for. It's not going to matter if you vote. You will have to do what is right within your own soul for that. But there will be a lot of noise on the outside about what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it. And if that's the game that you want to play in, if it's the reality that you want to play in, it's okay. But the bigger game is really going to be that thing. Fair? Okay. Coming back in. Thanks. So calling in this comfort so that you can remain cozy and safe in the true, soft spot of you. Being able to tap into that inner child. Oh, healing the inner child could be big work for us this month too. But being able to tap into that energy of the divine child. Being able to find the places of your own joy that are easily accessible to you. Oh, that's sweet. They want to offer this to you guys. The Akashic that we're doing starting on October 31st. It's called the Be the Light edition. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? But right now, as they're showing it to me, it is really quite sweet where you'll just kind of be not a lighthouse, but think of that light that's always on the front porch of home. You'll be that. You'll be safe. You'll be safe within. You'll be safe for others. So think of that warmth and that glow. To be the light within the dark. Allow that just to move through you now. In the Egyptian teachings, it will be this version of the sun, and the sun is going to be here within throat, but then encompasses all of your head as well. Be the sun, not that you're trying to burn anything, not that you're trying to be the sun, but you radiate at the same place of warmth, safety, reassurance. And we do this by giving it to ourselves first. You feel this within, so therefore it moves outside of you as well. And if we play with that Wheel of Fortune energy again, it's going to be that. Within, without, above, below. You are the safe harbor. I'm thinking of this quote that I've been working with lately in one of my favorite resources, and I thought about bringing it for you guys today, but it's a lot. And this is the Mayan Oracle. Oh, it's way galactic. The Mayan Oracle, who I've been working with, is this energy called Monique. And Monique has very specific hand gestures, and the affirmation for it is, I am by thinly disguised, I am by thin, fuck, I lost it, isn't that funny? But it's this idea of you're a portal. And I see this here as well. I've worked in this energy for quite some time. I recognize that I am a portal to other consciousness, but you will be a portal for people into feeling safe and okay. Not because you're giving to them, not because you're behaving codependently, but because you are the light, you are radiating this peace within, so there will be peace without. Peace outside, not without peace. We are always with peace. And those of us who choose to focus on that peace, everything will just kind of move right over us, because a shark is going to be a fucking shark. If you want to swim with the sharks, totally fine. Shark's going to be a fucking shark. You can just curl up in the earth and let it pass over, because you know what your real work is. And as you're doing that, feeding yourself, feeding the ancestors, healing the inner child, doing this inner work that is so good. Can I just get maybe a sneak peek of what us coming back up to the surface in November looks like? Remember that shark is always moving too. They want me to be clear about that. Earthworm might always be moving too. But something in the shark, like it's always hunting, it's never at peace. I need you to be at peace. Great. And if we get through this, perfect. Here's our Page of Wands energy as we're coming into November. And it's funny even how this is showing up in this light, where it is just all this light. You saw none of the other cards were that. You holding your hands open to completely new possibilities. This feels to me very positive for this birthing of the new earth energy that will be coming forward. Yum. Just feeling back into it with you now. Yeah, there's an energy that's really supporting us in October. And it's also the, thank you, and that Seven of Pentacles energy as well. Isn't it about the seeds that we already have planted? The hope that we already have. We've invested in the relationships with all of these guides. feels like it could be an interesting possibility, and kind of just peeking at that as well. This idea of you've invested in all of these guides. We also might have the knowledge that these guides haven't existed because it's all about you. You are the wisdom, you are the light, you are the enlightened one, you are the ascending master, all of it. So as you recognize and call into your field all of these things that have brought you comfort, safety, peace, peace of mind, all of the teachers who have shown you, absorb them into you this month. That could be a really interesting thing to do right around Samhain, right? So instead of them being outside of you, they are now within you. You absorb the knowledge, and as you do that, you come forward with a whole new offering to the world. This helps us have some energy to birth the new earth. Fucking like that. That's what I say. Sometimes whenever it gets really good, I'm like, don't pull any more cards. Don't pull any more cards. You don't have to swim with the sharks. You don't have to get in the fucking tank. You can if you choose to. And know that they're sharks. Cute. I'm going to shut up now before it gets any deeper in here. Let's see if we want to close out with any ceremonial sounds for you. Now, they say the sound is your own breath. It will become increasingly more important to pay attention to the elements. That's going to be all of 2021. Learning how to listen to the plants, learning how to listen to the earth, learning how to be in harmony with these things. We do that primarily through our own body. I talked to a girlfriend today who's been working in tech for a long time. She's now working with plants and not tech. And I'm like, what the fudge? What a beautiful shift that will be for her, taking everything that she's learned and just trying to get it in, cool. We're all being lined up in these ways. So when you can be still enough and peaceful enough to listen, you don't need to fear for a frickin' thing. You don't. You'll, thank you. You are nature. And you know how all the animals move before something bad happens? You're an animal. You will be moved before something bad happens. And whatever it is that you experience that might be uncomfortable, it's so you can be a fucking rock star. I hope you know that by now. God, that's a hard one at times, but that was a recent Jessa revelation for me. Anything challenging that comes up, it's because I get to be the bitch to hack it. Cool. Game on. Let's go. Queen of Wands. Okay. Thanks. Let me show you how to get through this in a way that nobody else has. So there's nothing that you will be given that will destroy you past that point. They're asking for a different container for those of us who are participating in the Luminous Mysteries. It's interesting. I don't know what you guys want that container to look like. We might need to create a classroom like we do for other things. I will make a note. Thank you. Yes, heard. They want us to have a safe place where we all gather. You know how we do that for every class? Every class that I teach, every initiation has a different gathering space, so we need the one for Luminous Mysteries as well. I heard. Great. I won't make any other announcements here. I don't mean to do that. It's just whenever I talk to you, I'm kind of like, I get excited. Do you know that? Do you know that if only I could do Patreon all the time, I think that's all that I would do. I would love to just funnel everything out for you guys because kind of what jazzes me right now. I love you so much. Be peaceful this October. Be the warm light. You won't change anybody's fucking mind. Don't even need to get into the conversations. Thank you. One big piece that they want to make sure that I share here. This might be Andy's opinion, but it's still valid. It's still fucking valid. Everything right now is designed to separate. To create division. It's not our jobs. You don't need to create division. So every time that you have an experience of judgment, of othering, I want you to come into, oh, wait. Feel into your own tenderness and feel into their tenderness. You won't change any minds. And you're not divided. Nothing is divided. And it's not bypassing into unity consciousness. It's you, again, being a leader and being on the front waves that starts to practice this compassion before everybody else gets the memo. Thank you. In that way, you are also shaman. I keep coming up with this concept because it keeps coming through in the Egyptian mysteries. You are shaman because you are breaking from mass consciousness. You are shaman because you were leading something else. You are shaman because you are charting new territories and terrains and human experience that hasn't been done before. You are shaman. Aha. I love you. Reach out to me as you need to. Let me say that differently. We'll be working with a really good Q&A this month, so we will come together to support each other in that. I've got quite a few resources that'll be coming out for you as well, but I'm really still saying, if you need me, would you let me know? If we need to gather at some point, would you let me know before the Akashic kicks off? Because that seems like a long time until I'm talking to you. So we'll make sure to have our Q&A before that. Be good to you out there. I love you so much.